Hi, I was muted.
Good to see you on.
Yeah, just seeing you, ladies.
To see your face. Love faces. Hi, Kelsey. Diane has her pretty face too. Oh, yes, Kelsey, like fix my hair. So good. Ooh, Lexi has curly locks. Hi, Donna. Are you guys ready for a fun session? Have you been on our webinars before?
Yes.
Oh, Donna's new. Becky's new. My name is Becky. You have to be Becky 2.0. All right. Oh, I'm going to admit all, Sarah. I thought
I did.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
I've got it.
We have 2 minutes. So if you did not download the download, it is in the chat area. You're going to want to have this handout because all of our sessions have handouts. And if you don't have the handout, it's like a lot of writing and a total bummer. And you want to open it on Adobe Acrobat. I think it's Acrobat or Acrobat Reader. You want to be test out typing in the blanks because it is a fillable PDF. Type in the blanks and see, and then make sure you can save it. There's nothing worse than opening it, putting everything in, and then not being able to save the file. For those of you that are just logging in, check out that chat area. That's where Sarah put the workbook. So as we're waiting for just another moment, where is everybody from? Text chat where you're from. New Hampshire. Oh, Houston. My husband literally got home from Houston 2 days ago. Spokane, Connecticut. Like that, Sarah, Connecticut. Naples is going to be warmer than here. South Georgia. Got a couple from Michigan. Another Washingtonian. Tacoma. Barbados, Gail. Are you on vacation? Like, I don't really think that that's like fair. Norman, Oklahoma, home of the OU Sooners. Texas. More Texas people. Virginia's representing. You got a couple lost wages. Go there to lose my wages. South Chicago. Oh, Gail, I'm on vacay permanently. Sorry about that. More Texas. I think Texas for the win. We got Texas, San Antonio too. Oh, Penny, you know what? We record the session and then you get the recording via email. More Texas. I think Texas is for the win. All right. Welcome, everyone. It is the top of the hour. We are going to be having a great time playing games. And at the end, we're going to be giving away 2 seats to an upcoming crash course. So 2 big prizes at the end. So you're going to want to stay on. You're going to want to enter the drawing so that you can be sure to get in on that. All right. So Sarah and I are your, training consultant and then producer extraordinaire. We're your gamers for the day. Sarah, say a quick hi.
Hi.
Now they know
with technology or need help with some blanks. I'm here to help.
Excellent. Oh, Gail, Sarah's amazing. Where's the Becky's amazing? Okay. We are going to be doing some whiteboard. So if you want a whiteboard, if you're on the Zoom app or you want a whiteboard, you can go ahead and do that when it comes time for those. You can test out your tools right now. I'll make sure that I have them on for you. That always helps. Yep. So you can use those tools and you can test them out right now if you want. You can scribble on the screen, choose the color you wish. Sometimes I will be asking you to text on the whiteboard, or sometimes I might have you using the little pen is the drawing tool. That might be a better option sometimes as well. I'm just making sure that you can write or participate on the whiteboard if you want to. Otherwise, the chat is completely acceptable as well. And we just want to see you have as much fun as possible during this session. All right, so we are first going to dig in your handout. Did anybody, I would like to know if anyone printed it out. Did anyone print out this amazing handout? That's right. We got Tracy. I think I saw Becky and Lexi, all of them. Oh, Kelsey's like, I have it too. All right, so you're going to want to open that sucker to, I'm going to show you two places. Scorecard. We're going to be using this for a couple of things, but it is, if you have it digitally, you are able to type into this whole section. That's for some great notes. But we're going to start off with something that everyone loves, but a little different, visual for it. Normally it's a big old square. And I'm going to, say, nope, we're not doing the square. We're doing the triangle or the diamond, diamond shape. I did put on here how you can build your own. If you want to build one, this is the website I built it from. So just go ahead and you can scan that if you want, or you can get started on the word find. For those of you that don't have the handout printed and you want to participate, let's go ahead and have you participate on our screen. So here is the handout, has all the words, and we're just looking for it here. So go ahead and begin. Let's see how quickly we can get it done. This is our fabulous Thursday music. Oh, very good. Two people found it. I love it. At the exact same time, using the exact same color. I'm looking at the answers to see how close we are on our whiteboard. Pretty close. We're getting there. Ah, very good. The two overlapping using the same letters. I was wondering how long that would take people when you have to use the same letters. Still have a couple that need to be found. I'm having a really good time with words today. So just don't mind me adding extra syllables to words, okay? All right. We are going to pause this in 15 seconds. See if you can get one more. All right, and we're pausing. Let's see how well we did. Here we go. Here are all of the answers. So it looks like we missed Pictionary, which was dead smack in the center. Looks like we might have missed this one here, which is, you can't even see it. Ends in gur. Oh, scavenger, a scavenger hunt. But otherwise, we did pretty darn well. Good job, everyone. So here's the deal. Everyone loves a word search. You get it done fast. You keep going. I know some people that had it printed out. They're like, I got to get all these answers. I need to have it complete. Right now, I would love for you, you have these words, like for you to chat. How might you use one of these games in a class, virtual or face-to-face? So for instance, I might do Pictionary, but I'm going to put the word Pictionary, and then I'm going to say with words that are part of the class. Maybe it's terms that are part of the class, and they have to draw that in order to get that, find the term. I might use it that way to help people become familiar with the language that we're using. So you can pick any of these words, any of these games, and tell us how you might use it. Kahoot for review. Absolutely. Kahoot is a great tool. And I like that a lot of the tools for review will let you do 3, like Mentimeter lets you do 3 questions on the free version. So, I mean, how often are you going to ask more than, 3? If you want 20, then you need to have the, real thing. But can you do in a 2-screen while speakers talking, reinforcing essence points? I don't know what you're asking, Lisa, but I know Lisa Marie Hansen. Hello. Not sure what you're asking, but you are welcome to expand on that. Trivia. My new supervisor training. What are, maybe doing some trivia about what they're learning or discovering. Review like a brain break, a puzzle of some sort for that review, bingo for review. There are so many places that you can get bingo boards that you can modify for yourself. So you can put in all sorts of content in there. And as people are learning that, they can cross it off and the first person to get bingo wins. I like doing that where if I have a group of 20 or less, I put 20 QR codes on the screen and everybody picks a different one or selects a different one. And then they all have different boards. So everybody's learning throughout the entire thing and they're looking to get bingo. And so I start with regular bingo, 5 in a row. Then I might do 4 corner, or I might do, blackout bingo if I'm teaching a longer class and I want everybody to cover everything on there's that type of thing. Jeopardy, of course. The CDC has great YouTube videos for researchers, also, direct them to those for further learning that we couldn't cover during. So Sarah did put a link in there for customizing your own bingo card. If that's something that you're looking into for like gamification, go ahead and grab that. All right. And myfreebingocards.com also is what Sarah put in the generator up there. All right. So right now we are going to be getting into categories. If you haven't played categories in a little while, here's how it works. In just a moment, I'm going to flip to the next slide. It is your job to come up with as many words that relate to the topic. So for instance, number 1, I will just tell you right now, number 1 is office supplies. And it's your job to find an office supply that starts with the letter B, P, or G. Okay. So I might say an office supply for G is a glue stick. And I would write that into my workbook. For B is a binder. Excellent. What would P be? What might start with the letter P? Pens, paper clips. Excellent. So you're getting the idea that it just has to start with the letter B, P, or G. All right. So here come the list of 8 different things that you need to come up with. Marks, get set, go. Reasons to be late. Board games, something you would wear. A gift idea. We have holidays coming up. My boss is, now think PG, friends. Let's be kind. I would just say my boss is beautiful. All right. That's just beautiful. All right. And then weekend hobby, conference takeaway. You've been to a conference. If you've ever been to a conference, what's a takeaway that you've learned? That's what we're working on right now. Go ahead. And if you want to write on the screen, you're welcome to. It's kind of small, but if you want to work online, you can do that, or you can also chat in the chat area. So if you come up with one for a letter, I'm also looking for the most creative answer. The most creative answer today will be receiving a prize. So if you're chatting it, put in something clever for one of them. Sarah's going to be selecting, and we're going to be giving away a download of all of our music, the suite of 200. So I'd love to see what you come up with in the chat, and then Sarah's going to select. And she does accept $10 bills, 20s, 50s, whatever the highest you have on you.
I'll post my Venmo.
Yeah, Venmo's even better. She accepts hundreds of dollars. But I'm sorry, but the music itself is $50, so don't give her more than that. Oh, something to wear, a boa. That's That's, pretty, I think that's pretty clever. Bracelet making, pickleball. Isn't pickleball fun? Gambling, conference takeaway, paraphernalia. What kind of conference are you at? Whoa, I want to join in on that one. All right, board game is girl talk. Something to wear, pantaloons. Oh my gosh, that's been a hot minute. Do you have some in your closet still? I don't know. Everything makes a comeback. Game of life, office supply, binder clips, another binder clips. All right. So you see these answers here. The great thing about this game is you can actually, BBG is the name of our company, right? But you can actually use 1 through 8 as a revisit. So we did terms and definitions, a term you learned during the last week. And then, pick or select letters that would somehow apply. So BBG, I just picked because that's our company name. You could pick whatever letters you want. You could also just pick one and have a longer, section for them to be able to type in, whatever it might be. I like giving multiple options because then people, if they can't think of a B, they might think of a P or a G. All right. So, my boss is gracious. Jordan has a good boss, a gracious boss, until you take advantage. Let me tell you how people take advantage. I don't know about you, but I saw the TikTok. You know how everybody rents a car from Hertz or wherever, and it says unlimited miles? When they say that, they don't really mean unlimited miles. This gentleman drove 25,000 miles. Literally took it literally. And the manager at the Hertz he returned it to was, whoa, super not happy. And he's like, hey, I got the car and it said unlimited miles. It didn't say there was a max. Because he wants to charge the guy 10 grand. And the guy's like, nah, I don't know if that's real or not, or if they just kind of set it up. But if it was real, they need to change the rules, I think. All right. So good job, Sarah. Who is our winner with the most clever answer? I know
Tammy Bentley wins.
Ooh, what was the answer?
She said a reason to be late is pregnant.
I'm pregnant. I'm late because, I was just, taking my time here.
So right. Tammy, private chat me your email address and I will send you a certificate for free training music download.
Thank you. Right.
Excellent. Winner, chicken dinner. You should go to the casino. Turn to page 6 though. Let's take a look at what's the objective or object of a virtual game. Hello, of course it's to win, but I would also say it's to get people engaged, to keep them engaged, to compete. All of those are fun ones too. So let's think about and come up with a list. You can whiteboard, you can meeting chat, you can go to the chat. Name some things a trainer wins by incorporating games into virtual training. So, some of the wins, I will give you 5 in just a moment, but I want you to come up with what's a win. So increased engagement, absolute win. And everyone's like, engagement, student buy-in for sure, more memorable. Sometimes the game is so memorable, but then, and you're like, I hope the content is just, I don't think I'll forget pregnancy as a reason to be late anytime soon. So it reinforces, yes, content. It allows for that connection, Jordan. Connection online is a lot more difficult than connection face-to-face. So yeah, you definitely want to build that. And it's fun to compete. So in a minute, Sarah and I are going to be doing a game. We're utilizing the Bravo game suite. And you are going to be either put on Sarah's team. She has 2 teams and I have 2 teams. So, you definitely want to be on mine. I'm just saying that you'll probably be the winners. But that builds that connection, right? That, woo, we're on the winning team. I know we're going to win. Have some fun that way. Builds that connection with other people in the room. Retention of material, immediate feedback. And you can add these into any of those blanks. Flexibility. You'll notice on our whiteboard here that it's immediate feedback, it's good feedback, it's student interest, it's enthusiasm. It allows us to wake up our brains. Student interest, there we go, enthusiasm again, more energy. Camaraderie is another great one. Activity breaks it up for sure. So those are just some of the wins and some of the reasons why gamification would be something we want to do. And again, I've just shown you a couple of low tech, really quick activities you could do. And if you do the word find, they have so many different shapes that you can choose. You could choose a Christmas tree. You can choose a heart. So depending on the season, you literally could just copy and paste your list in and have it be put into a sailboat, whatever shape you want. So that's pretty fun if you have a theme to kind of stick to that theme. Excellent. All right. So right now we're going to look at a couple more that I have. Let's see if you got them all. I just wrote down 5 just in case there wasn't a list. I'm sure you got some of these. Engagement, retention, feedback, critical thinking. We didn't come up with that one. And then encouraging teamwork. You guys did come up with that one. There you go. Oh, and it's fun. Hello. That's another reason. It is fun. Right now, we're going to be playing a game. The game is on Bravo Zone. I'm going to pull it up. It's going to take me just a moment. And we're going to be using not your typical like Jeopardy game or something like that. I'm using what's called Tally. And Tally is just a way for you to ask questions or answer questions that you might want people to know about, but it's not a full-on game. But it does utilize gamification because it's a competition. You're with other people. You're competing against them. All right. So let's take a look at our game. Let's see what we got going on here. You are going to be automatically put into one of these groups. So go ahead and use that QR code. And is it allowing you to get in? Yes. Well, 2 people are successful and they're on my team. I would just like to say the first 2 people to get in are on my team. It may be that they're just coming through slowly. There's a lot of us. There's over 100 of us in here. So it just takes a hot minute.
Yes, Donna, there are 4 colors. I'm team red and team blue, and Becky is team green and team yellow.
And the crowd went wild. Woo! If you're on any of my teams, you have a much higher rate of answering the questions right. So the questions that I'm going to be asking you about 3 are related to Zoom fatigue or statistics around Zoom. And then 1 is a game within the game. So it's a fun game. Some people call it Through the Green Door. I'm calling it the private island because that just sounds funner to me, more funner. All right. So I'm going to wait just another second, see if we can get a couple more people on, and then we're going to start our questions. If you don't get in time, you can put your answer into the meeting chat. All right. Are you ready? Get set. Here we go. Oh, I need to start the session. Here we go. All right. For 100, the culprit for Zoom fatigue is which of the following? Try to start with a softball, make everyone feel good about themselves for a hot minute. And we're going to close this poll in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Ooh, we got some different answers going on. Zoom fatigue, slow internet. Yes, slow internet is annoying and it doesn't always allow you to fully engage, but it doesn't necessarily create the Zoom fatigue. Same with nonverbal verbal overload. Although you see my gestures and that can be annoying, it's not as bad as fully lecture-based teaching. Oh, I guess it is. It is nonverbal. There you go. Lecture-based teaching is also on there, so like pretty high up there. All right. So let's see 200 points. I would like to say that your team is winning. You're headed to an island. This is my favorite. I love this one. You can bring your friend Anna, but you cannot bring your friend Kelsey. And Kelsey's on. I'm sorry, Kelsey. I didn't know you were going to be on. You can bring a pineapple, but not an orange. What else can you bring along? So go ahead and make a guess.
Hey, Becky, while people are trying to answer this, there are several that are saying that they're unable to select. So you do need to select, and then down at the bottom of your screen, you need to hit submit.
You gotta
Sarah, it was all grayed out. Like I couldn't even select. I saw the submit button, but it wouldn't even, I just came out of it. It wouldn't even let me hit anything on my phone.
Okay, so sometimes you need to refresh, but if it's not working, just go into the chat and put your answer in. You can write the letter A, B, C, or D, because we'll know the answer. All right, we're going to close this in 3, 2, and 1. All right, so we have several different answers. Other friends is incorrect. Swimsuit, wouldn't that be nice? But no, flip-flops, not happening. The answer is puppy. Can anyone guess why? Lexi's like, yes, I know.
Because Anna has a double N, pineapple has a double P, and puppy has a double P.
There you go. And pineapple, yes. So anything with a double letter is allowed to go to the island. Excellent. So there you see it. The secret to this game is not really a secret. Now, this is just one example. You could do, for instance, coming to the island, I can invite Sarah, and I can also invite Suzanne, but William, I cannot invite. Well, that's the S, and S is the beginning of the letter, right? Anything that starts with S can go. To make it a little more difficult, you could do the end, like the last letter of the word has to start with that letter. So I can bring I can bring with me a tent, C-T-E-N-T, and I can also bring a typewriter or a tightrope or whatever. Has to just start with T because that's the last letter of the word. So you can do this in lots of different ways, but I think it's fun. So you can like check that out. All right. Well, Red can log in. It looks like you can because they have 34. Sarah Blue is at 55. Becky Orange took the lead away from Green Becky with 75 points. Excellent job, my teams. And we are going to actually select one person from the chat, and we're going to use the leaderboard. We're going to take a look at who our highest leader is, and they're going to be winning a prize as well. So it pays to participate. Seeing blank constantly on screen is tiring. I should have put my name, Becky. That would have been funny. And then if people picked it, I'd be like, loser. All right, we're going to close this out. Seeing people's background, it depends on what their background is, but yes, can be very annoying. Social connections, no one put that. Attention span, you know, seeing someone's attention span, maybe they're not paying attention, perhaps. Seeing yourself is, he says, the correct answer. That's why we let people turn on and off their cameras. I'm going to always have my camera on. Well, except for when I'm showing a video or something like that. If there's a reason to not have it on, that's one thing. But otherwise, I have it on. And there are times when I'll say, everybody turn on your webcams. Let's do hand motions together. Or let's, whatever, fill in the blank. We're about to go into breakout rooms. Turn your camera on now so that you don't have to figure it out how to do it later. Those types of things are, I would definitely say, turn them on. But there is Zoom fatigue with that, both looking at people's pictures, but also seeing yourself. You can hide yourself in some of the different webinar platforms as well. I don't choose to do that because people have forgotten that their camera's on. Just saying, I've seen some things, and it's because they don't have their camera on to remember, or they've hidden their camera, so they forget that it's on. So just something you consider. Oh, Becky Green took the lead. We're winning. That's right. Blank is much higher. in Zoom chats because nonverbal communication is more demanding. By the way, this question is worth 400 points. So it's anyone's chance here. Lisa, hi, Lisa Marie. Do you think seeing participants is a way to connect? Absolutely. Manager learner questions or reactions similar to how we did in live sessions? Yes, I would definitely say it does. So yeah, I mean, I'm going to have participants on. I just don't make them be on the entire time. When you're going into small groups and breakout rooms, always have them turn on their camera. In Zoom, if I'm showing you my screen, everyone looks this big in the room. So I might leave this screen on with directions for all of like 30 seconds, 15 seconds, so that people know what to do once they're in there. And then I turn them off so that they can see each other much larger. And it does build that rapport, that connection, more so than the postage stamp that we are right now. So just keep in mind, when do you want it on? Is there a reason why? Is it purposeful? Are you creating connections specifically by having them on, or are we just having them on to make sure that they're on so that they can get credit for the class, kind of a thing? I know that some people have to have everybody's on. So it's not an option, but let's see. Only one of these is right. Research shows that there's not something, I mean, we don't call it memory load, just saying. All right. Blank is much higher in Zoom chats because nonverbal communication is more demanding. Well, if nonverbal is more demanding, we're going to be looking at our cognitive, because you're critically thinking, you're looking at everyone, you're trying to memorize their faces, you're trying to look at their names, especially if you're presenting. You're trying to say, okay, I know who these people are, but if I were to see them out on the street, would I know? It's like I'm memorizing names, even in a virtual setting. I'm trying to remember who's who, so that, and especially what they might put in the chat area. So if I don't remember people's names or faces, then how am I going to connect back to when so-and-so said what? That kind of a thing. All right. Do you have Canva Pro? Okay. What do you use for QR codes? I personally use, let's give the answers here and then I'll show you what I use. Survey says Team Becky Green. Winners are in the house. That's right. But Sarah's red team had a close second, and then our orange team is coming in third. Let's see who won it all together. Ruth G. Ruth G, you are the winner of some music. So Sarah is going to private chat you to get your email, and you'll be receiving that certificate in your email. I highly recommend doing that right away, or you'll forget, and then you'll try to find your certificate. And so I just recommend doing that today, just so you have it right away. All right, excellent. I can also look at questions and I can see, oh, did I put in a revisit question and like only 5% of the people got it? That's probably not a well-written question, or I didn't cover the content well enough. And so that can help you, kind of have an idea. Another thing to think about in games, if people answer within 12 seconds, you know that they know the answer to that question, if it's a question about content. If it takes longer than 12 seconds, then they're guessing, or they're kind of stuck between two answers. So the activity that we just did, I could put a timer on, and I could put the timer on for 12 seconds and have that timer start when I'm done reading the question. And in some cases, the timer starts right away. So what I'm going to do is how long does it take me to read the statement, and then add 12 seconds to that. So we just know that 12 seconds is that magic number. If you answer it quickly, then we know you know what we're doing. So that can be another way for you to assess your learners on any given activity when people answer. So well done. Congratulations. Let's cheer. Oh, we'll cheer away. You all did such a great job. And now we're done. We're done with that. All right. Excellent. Here we go. We are back to our regular PowerPoint that we're hanging out with here. All right. So the next thing is alphabet chain. Let's do an activity called alphabet chain. Here we go. Alphabet chain. Here's what works. I'm going to give you a word. Okay. And that word, it could be the word training. It could be the word presenting. It could be any word in the world. And it's your job when you get that word to think of something that fits that category that starts with the letter S. It's always the last letter of the word that you give people. So what you could write now in the chat, what is something that you would do or find outdoors that starts with the letter S? Stick, ski, sneaker, swim. It's always interesting to see what like comes to mind right away for people. Snail, sunshine, swimming. We got snakes and skunks. Like, I don't know. That's what came to you first. I would like to say whoever just said surf. That's right. I put surfers. That was the first word that came to mind. And I don't even live in California where you can surf. So I don't know. That's just where mine snack, snowmobile, summer, soccer. All right. So that gives you the idea. I'm going to flip to the next slide, and there are going to be 6 different words. It's your job to see how many you can get. I'm going to turn on some fast music in the time I allow. All right. So clarifying the directions. I'm going to go to the next slide. There's going to be 6 words on there. If you whiteboard your words underneath. And if you're going to chat, just put the word sun and then what word starts with an N, because guess what? That is actually our very first word. It's going to be sun. So I'm giving you a little hint here. The word is sun as one of them. Go ahead and begin. Oh, nice. For people, everyone. You just encompass the entire world with your one statement. Very nice. We got jungle gym. We got the mountain. We got me. Mom. Mom is the jungle gym. Yes, that's clever. I will give you that. That's pretty nice. Oh, it wasn't mom. It was mom. But I think it was meant to be mom because moms are jungle gyms for sure. Water, we got river, we got rain. A lake doesn't start with the letter R. Oh, empathy's over here. Water, a raft. There you go. There's a new one. Oh, funny. Bird dropping. Oh, you gotta love what people come up with. Dodo bird. Got a dove. A bug, a grasshopper. Starting with the letter G for the bug category. All right, for sun, we got the letter is N. Next, Nevis, nightmare. Neptune. Neptune comes out or is near the sun. Is that why we put Neptune? I'm not really sure how that relates. Maybe it's because it's in outer space like the sun. The solar system. Excellent. All right, so here's the deal. You can choose words that relate to your content. And here's the quickest way to do this. If you're allowed to use an open AI or source of some sort like ChatGPT or whatever else, the quickest way to do this is to put in your word into that platform, whichever one you're using. So for instance, the term might be items trainers would use, and I'm going to say create a list that starts with B, P, and G if that's what it is, or I'm going to say needs to start with the letter M and it relates to a jungle gym, needs to start with the letter G and it's relating to a bug. It could be a type, it could be a color, it could be. So you do want to have in your prompt some examples so that it knows what you're wanting. And then you can get a list of like 20. And the nice thing is you're going to be putting in terms or definite, like a term, for instance. And if you want to look for correct answers that go above and beyond maybe what you thought of or what came from your class, that can be a good way to get additional ideas that maybe you had not thought of, and then have those answers in, your PowerPoint or have them in your handout, your note section, something like that. All right. Excellent. Nice job doing that. That is called alphabet chain. Next up, we have, we're going to take a look at our workbooks on page 7 and 8. Now, if you printed yours out, but you did not, when you click on printing, there's one that says auto versus portrait versus landscape, because this one was on, these were on the vertical, this was on the horizontal. So you can print it out, but when you print it, make sure, because then if it's printed the other way, it's really small to read. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at, and this is a speed game. What you're doing is you're filling in the blanks on page 7 and 8 with the word bank. The first person done, as long as you didn't already do this earlier, first person done, please write done in the chat area. Got a prize for you. Go ahead and begin. Word bank race. Haley is done. Followed very quickly by Becky. The rest of you can go for another 20 seconds, see if you can get a couple more. Haley, go ahead and private chat Sarah. She's gonna give you this music we've been playing today. All right. I see you adding to my whiteboard. Let's see what our answers are. And we have a bunch of people that are done. Gail got done, Adrienne, Jordan, Allison. Very nice. Here we go. So let's take a look at what we have here. Number one, you be sure to use gamification principles. Okay. So the principles, what we're looking at is if you were to play a game and use a board game, the principles include things like what you're able to do, what you're not able to do. So it's rules surrounding that. It's what, so for instance, a really great game that I love to play is called Wits and Wagers. Has anyone ever heard of that? Wits and Wagers, we just got the new family edition that came out, but it's where everybody wagers on a statistic. So you give a statistic and the statistic is kind of random and it can be about your company, it could be about something else, but it has to have a number involved. And then everyone guesses a number and you put them on the board and then everyone bets on who do you think is right without going over that number. So it's a really fast and fun game, but some of the principles are that you're going to need betting chips. You're going to need a little whiteboard for each person. So what are some of those principles? Leaderboard. Do you want to have a leaderboard? Do you want to have it be individuals or teams? So you're looking at all those different principles. The second element is the leaderboards that I just showed you. I love that leaderboards, it's not just about you as a team. Now you know as an individual where you're at. And it doesn't show the list of 100 people and who's at the bottom. It just shows you the top of the list, right? And so we actually have an expert in the room on Bravo Zone and just gamification in general. His name is Paul Keller. Paul, if you wouldn't mind showing them the kind of the platform and kind of what it looks like to include competition, leaderboards, whatnot. Everybody's getting a 14-day trial. If you scan that, you can play the game. There's 10 different games. I did tally because, it's not shooting things and arrows at each other. So I was making it quick, but competitive. So go ahead, Paul. What do you have to show us and share with us?
Hey everyone, I'm just showing right now the platform that Becky just finished using. As she mentioned, she was using the Tally template. This is a platform that C3 SoftWorks designed 15 years ago for trainers to build in their content around classroom training, virtual training, and even e-learning for self-paced learning. This is a way for you to engage your audience, just as Becky's doing now, getting your content into these templates. Oh, thank you. We got put your content into these game templates as the way it engage in teams, right? So you're playing collaboratively, but you can also play and also see in real time where the leaderboards are at. So you've got some stake in the game. That's really what this is all about, is you're playing to win, but you're also playing to help your team. And honestly, this is all about just delivering your content in a way that makes it stick, right? You're taking your games or you're taking your content and using a game component into it. So one of the templates that Becky was using is called Tally. Bravo Zone actually includes 10 different templates. I noticed in the chat window that a lot of you are already using a Jeopardy style game. We have a template called Quiz Show for that. You've got some other Hollywood style games called Billionaire, and then even games that we just created from scratch, just fun games that add a little competition while you're delivering your questions and answers. So it's a super easy way to do that. And everything is recording. Go ahead and get a question, Becky.
No, go ahead. Everything is what?
Everything is being recorded as well. So one of the things that Becky showed you at the very end of the game is to show where the knowledge gaps are, or maybe a percentage of where some trouble spots happen. So that's a useful tool for trainers to just take those moments in the game and collaborate or discuss or highlight some of the things that you need to during the game. That's the whole notion of gameplay is it's okay to fail. It's okay to lose a little bit, because this is what it's all about, is just to find the moments that you can elaborate on. But one of the things you can do with the software is on the back end is capture reports. So if you need to show how everyone did after the class, you could send this over to your administrator, or even self-paced scores for online. If you're using a learning management system, for instance, you can embed a game in an LMS. So it has that back-end reporting that oftentimes is very useful. And lastly, guys, just one of the things I always like to point out with this software is it makes the trainer's job just a little bit easier. You're in a sometimes very challenging sessions like webinars, like virtual. This is just going to make your job just a little bit easier to deliver that content in an engaging way. So with that, Becky, I'll hand it back to you.
Hey, Paul, I have a question. Of those 10 templates, and I know you keep adding, you've been adding different things over the years. With Tally and Confidence, are those able to be put into PowerPoint?
Yeah, great point, or great question. So this software is designed so you can bring in any content, whether they're slides, images, video. If you want to bring in PowerPoint slides, you can do that as well. It's designed so that it's whatever your content is that you're currently using, you can embed in the game templates themselves. This is a cloud-based application, so you can just pretty much use it anytime, anywhere, wherever you're coming from. You don't have to download anything.
Right. So I can put everything into Tally, but can I put Tally, like, can I link it, hyperlink it to, I mean, obviously I can use a hyperlink. Is that the best way to do that, where you would just put the hyperlink in and then just go over?
Yeah, it's really a standalone. How trainers use this software typically, and the ones that I work with, is that they're using this alongside their PowerPoint usually. Sometimes you'll embed a link in PowerPoint, so it's a kind of a launching off point. But the game platform pretty much resides on its own. So you'd use this software alongside whatever you're currently doing.
Awesome. Wonderful. Thank you so much. All right. And yeah, and if you guys wanna, somebody's gonna be winning a 90-day pass for all of the games so that you can check it out and have fun with that. Somebody's gonna be winning that in just a little bit here. All right, so let's take a look at the rest. The next one is reward participation with digital badges. So badging is definitely something that's happening all around us. Let's take 1 minute to type or text, where do you see digital badging? I'm going to just give you one. It was in the blurb. Airlines. Airlines completely use badging. For instance, I'm a million miler with Delta. Well, I'm way more than that. Well, then am I all done? Like, is there anything left for me to become? Well, yeah, you can become a global 360, which basically just means you're a diamond for life, that you just have no life. You travel all the time. Okay. So that's what that means if you're a trainer. And then they have other badging when you're within, right, an app. For instance, let's talk about badging with your favorite fast food restaurant. How are they using badging? And that's just one of the things that, like, anywhere that I can start, it allows for us to see achievements. It sees where we've gotten. And in the case of where we see it around us in today's kind of economy, when we're out and about, a lot of times you get something. I mean, you're going to earn points and then you can use points. I currently play a little game on my phone, and every time you go up a level, it has your little picture and your friends that are friends with you playing, and I can get a badge and like, oh, you just passed the Hawaiian island level, which is what I just did. And around my face, I now have lots of luau flowers. You know, that's a badge. And it actually, I'm a sucker for badges. Like, oh, I want to get the next one. Oh, it's 25 more minutes. I'm not paying for that. I'm not. Okay, fine. It's $1.99. You know, they sucker you in. It's only good for 3 more minutes. And it's like, I'm so close. I need another 1,000 gems, you know, whatever. I really try to not get into that. It doesn't matter to me at all. Wellness app, such a good one. The more into it you are, and you have to be willing, though, to come back to it, right? You have to be willing to keep going. Ooh, casino memberships. It's a good thing that I have this not sharing who wrote that, because, you know, the fact that, you know, they have memberships. No, I'm just kidding. Reward program of any kind, MyFitnessPal, Google Photos. I don't know what Duolingo is, but that sounds really fascinating and interesting. If that person would put into the chat what you're using it for. Pretty much tons of restaurants have it. LinkedIn does too. Even UMU, which is what we're going to use to do the raffle in just a little bit, they have, and I'm a little disappointed, I have to be honest. I've been using their platform, UMU's platform, for, I don't know, probably a decade. I am at the highest level. There's no more levels for me to be able to go. And I literally met with the owner, like the person last night. It's from Japan. And I was like, hey, love UMU. Don't like that I'm at the max level. It says max level. I like coming back and being like, you got 2 more points. Oh, you opened this 3 days in a row, 10 extra points. Oh, 4 days in a row. You're on a streak. I like that. And now I'm max level. Never opening that platform again. No, but you know, it does mentally in the subconscious. It matters to me that I see that I'm at a max level. I liked knowing what level I was at, because I was competing with my consultants. Like, let's see who can level up next. You know, like a little competition, even between peers, can be really fun. So I also want to show you our digital badge. So if you're a trainer and you have different classes that you're teaching, you may want to give people the opportunity to get a digital badge. These are the badges that we have. We have more than this, but let's say you take a class with us. Any of our classes, they all have badges. You can put the badges in your signature, or you can put them on LinkedIn, or wherever you want to use. It's typically a social media format or email format that you would put your badge on those areas. So once you get the 4 certifications, like you have to go through 4 classes. Once you've done that, you'll have 4 of these different ones, right? Then we give you the big one. So you get all 4 and then you get the big certificate saying that you are certifiable in training. All right. So that's how we use badging. And there are people who have every single one on their signature. Some people don't care, but some people do care and make it fun. All right. Next one up is a mini game. We've already shown you a couple of examples. Oh, I want this one. Let's go back. Which one is it? Oh, certified virtual trainer. Well, you can get it. It can be yours for the low, low price of, I don't know. But yes, getting the badges are kind of fun. And I like using them. Typically, I have it in my signature, all the awards we've won. And I have it on my everyday signature because I want everyone to know I'm a winner. And you don't have the badge and I do. So, all right, mini games, short interactivity in between any of the games we've done today, as long as they're quick and fast. I literally am going to give away a way that I find a bunch of mini games. I hate that I'm doing this. I really do. Actually, I don't even know if this one's sold anymore. Whenever I am in an airport or in a, I go to Barnes and Noble for something, I look for any type of activity book. This one happens to say it's Brain Games. It's by Brain Games. Okay. I mean, I'm telling you, I don't know if it's still out there, but I'm sure you could find it. Crime scene investigation. There's no such thing as a perfect crime. Gather the clues, crack the case. It isn't really that you have to do the whole entire book to crack the case. They just have in here a lot of different examples of like games that you can do. So here's some clever trivia. Maybe you want to use that. They have picture games. They have all sorts of things. I use this one for one of my classes, and it's just, you have to follow, where's the knot? Now, we make our own because I don't want to steal from someone else, but this gives me an example of what I could have created for ourselves. And so like, there's just lots of ideas in here that you don't have to come up. And then I love that they give the answers because I don't know if I'm right half the time. So any type of brain book, brain game, those can give you a lot of different ideas for little quick mini games that you could put up. The last one is storytelling, leveraging storytelling within a game. Most people, have you ever seen the books like the Pick a Path book where you read a few pages and then it says, go to page 72 if you want to say yes, and page 14 if you want to say no. And you know how many times I read that book to see if I changed it up to see if I got the same result? That's a story within, obviously, a book. It's making you, it's a game because you're having to go yes or no, true or false. It's Cindy, it's Sandy. Who do you think it is? Those kinds of things also create competition. We also have on the next page, page 8, we have set clear objectives. Somebody already wrote that one a little earlier for us. You want to have your objectives written before you decide on the game. Don't decide on a game and then try to make the objective fit. Know what your objective of a game is, and then you decide on what game you want it to be. So that is really a key differentiator. Time challenges, we did that today. Who's going to be first? You win a prize. The second that you tell someone that you can win a prize, endorphins in the brain, serotonin is going. Serotonin's like when you go into that casino and hear ding, 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 and you're like, oh, somebody's a winner. I'm a winner. It's like that, right? Where the serotonin and endorphins in your brain start going just hearing that you could win a prize. Now, the question is, using the emojis below, the smiley face, pick one. How many of you tried to go faster because you could possibly win something? Let's just see how many of us are saying yes. And I'm scrolling through. We have several on the first page of mine, a few on the second, several on the third page. We got some on the fourth page as well. So it may not have been all of us, but it's a good chunk of people that try to go faster because of that. So sometimes speed is what you want, and having it timed is great. Having a visual timer can also help as well. All right, encourage collaborative games. That's that whole thing that we were talking about earlier. where you can compete with other people. If you're face-to-face, this is virtual, but if you're face-to-face, you can actually have a table team, have them collaborate that way on the game, whatever it might be. And then incorporate real world scenarios. There's what's called far and near scenarios. Near is something that would be realistic to what you're actually teaching and to the environment you're in. And a far scenario is like, I'm going to talk about something completely different, fishing. I'm going to talk and I'm going to have this far scenario. Susie goes fishing and Sam goes with, and George is next. And you can have it be a far scenario, but you have to assess which would be better. I think that near scenarios, real world, when you're doing gamification is really powerful. So if you can do real world, I highly recommend it. And then providing that immediate feedback right within the game, knowing if you got it right or wrong is really valuable. So UMU is what we're using for our raffle, and somebody's going to win a 90-day pass to that. In there, everything is, you can add immediate feedback. I love they're just coming out with, for me, we're writing an AI class for trainers. It's coming out in Q1, and they have a little, I don't know, class, an online class where I took it yesterday and I wrote in my prompt. It says, write the best prompt you can about this topic. So I did, I wrote a prompt and then I hit go, and then it gives you immediate feedback on how bad your prompt is. I mean, how good your prompt is. And it has all these categories that it puts it into. So then I learn what it is and then I rewrite it, incorporating that feedback. Immediate feedback can help you to learn faster, quicker, and even better. So that's something that's really valuable within gamification. All right, so here we go. If you want to be part of this raffle, let me make sure that I have the raffle on. That might help. If you would like to possibly win a crash course right here, 2 seats to the virtual Prez crash course on 12/16, that we're giving away 2 of those. Let me turn it on. I had it on and then I closed out of the page. Don't you just love when you do that? All right, display, here we go. All right, it's on. So you can go ahead and join that. And then we'll do the 90-day UMU, Soapbox, Simple Show, and C3 is giving away a 90-day as well. All right, so we're gonna give away the big ones first. While you're logging in and you're adding in, we already have 10 people in. I'm also going to show you the next free webinar. The next free webinar is Training the Distracted Brain. These are the ones that we do once a month through the Bob Pike group. And that I'm trying to remember who's teaching that one. I think it might be Amy, but it's every month is someone different. So you can get a different perspective, a different, methodology. We all train slightly differently. So it's good to see that and good to just grab activities that you can use right away. We try to make it practical. So I gave you a bunch of games today. My goal was to give you ones that you could use right away and just very practical, not theory. Although I'm giving you, 10 tips, but I really want for you to be able to use something right away, make it valuable. All right. So we have 36 people in. The other thing you could do is Creative Training Techniques podcast. If you have, I don't know, iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, whatever, if you type in the Creative Training Techniques podcast, you'll see my podcast for the last 7 years. I do one every single Friday. There's almost 500 to choose from. They're between 4 and 7 minutes long. And I would just recommend going on there. It's free. Why not? If you have a class and there's a free podcast on it, you don't have to create one yourself. You could use it that way, or you could just use it for your own personal learning. On the Bob Pike group, if you go to resources, another free resource is that we have like the last 10 on our website. So we just keep updating that, but we don't keep them all in there, but they are all on any of the places that you go.
Hey, Becky, they're looking for the link again to be able to sign up.
Sign up for what?
Raffle?
Oh, the raffle. Sure. I'll put it up. One moment.
And I'll put that in the chat for y'all.
There you go. And if you want to get going, thank you for being on today. I really appreciate it. We don't take for granted the time that you just spent. You can't get back. So I'm hopeful that this was valuable for you. What I love to see is when you start with 100 and some people, and that's how many you have left, is always like, okay, it must have been good enough that they stayed on. And it might have been that I want to know what the next game is. Like, what's the next game that, like I'm waiting for that next thing. So that is kind of fun. So check your calendars, 12-16, those two people we're going to do first. Is everyone in that wants to be in, or do we need another 30 seconds? All right. I'm going to count down. 5, 4, speak now. All right. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Let's see who our winner is. We're going to look at these results as a group.
Well, these are great odds because there's over 100 people present and only 54 in the raffle. So you've already
gotten ahead of those people. And I like to give away prizes for people that are here. I know that gives you a better chance of actually attending the class, but isn't that the point? A lot of people are like, oh, anyone can win, but then that person doesn't even know they won. So must be present to win. Here we go. First one to win a crash course, 3-hour crash course. It's worth $600 is Julie Reed. Julie, you must chat right now that you're here. Otherwise it goes to someone else. Next up is, let's celebrate. Oh, there went Catherine's name. Sorry. Michael May. Are you still on? Are you still on? Sarah, did they chat that they're on? Or do we need to keep going?
Julie Reed is on. She says she's super excited. Julie, private chat me your email address.
Excellent. And Michael May, you won one. And you know what? Just because I'm nice, since you all stayed on, if you put into the chat area the biggest takeaway from today's session, we'll select somebody from there. It can't be somebody that already won. So I'm sorry, Michael, you can't win again.
Well, and I haven't heard from Michael yet.
Oh, well, maybe Michael's not here. So I should just.
I'm going to scroll up and see if his name is still here.
Okay. So we have a bunch of people that are going to be doing that. We have everything from making it more engaging, immediate feedback from games, badges for motivation, the access to new games, tips for virtual, using that a wide variety, something that's different. Bravo Zone, hadn't heard about that. Looking forward to using annotation features. Yeah, even just using that can make a really big difference. Categories, Sarah, is Michael here or not?
Yes, currently.
All right. Michael, you need to chat with Sarah. She's going to make sure that you get that prize. Now we're going to give away the 90-day. We'll start with Bravo Zone since you all experienced that one. And that is going to go to 90 days. Donna, you've just won, Donna. I hope you're here. Text chat that you're here still. I'm here, say. And then the UMU, which is this raffle, but it comes with so much more. Allison Robinson. Oh, yeah, she has her camera even on. I knew right away that you were the winner. And then the last one is Soapbox. If you need to do speed design work or speed objective writing, this is an amazing platform. It also uses AI. So like they've built it in. It's super awesome. Brian from Endurance Learning loves the Bob Pike group, loves our methodology. He took the being interactive and engaging, and then put it into this platform. You can literally say it's going to be a webinar, 30 minutes long. It's for trainers, it's for salespeople, whatever. You put that in, and then it takes you to this screen that says, well, you need some objectives for this. I honestly think that alone is worth the subscription because I've used it for everything. And I know that you have Chat GPT now, but that's not the same as making sure that you write well-written objectives. So in their platform, and it goes to, is Sam the person? Is that the winner of the platform, right? Sam,
yes.
Sam gets
Sam just won Soapbox.
All right. Oh, yeah, Soapbox, Sam. So you're going to get in there and it's going to have sentence starters. So it's ensuring, it's like dummy proofing your objectives so that they're written in a way that they're objective, that you could actually see if someone did the thing that they're needing to do. I literally just having those has saved me so much time, because making sure, and then you can, so it'll give you the start to it, and then it'll say ... and it'll give you a second. Do you want the ending? Do you want to fill it in yourself? So that is just total speed design is what that's all about. So you guys have been awesome and amazing. Thank you for being on today. I really appreciate you. Sarah's going to look through who is here and is going to give away that third seat. Sarah, who are you going to pick? You're welcome. You're welcome.
I'm going to give it to Tanya.
All right.
TAUNYA.
Oh,
because by accident she private chatted me her takeaway instead of to the group, and then said, oops, my mistake.
Yeah, and then I added more because there were so many great things, as always. Thank you, guys.
Oh, thank you. You're welcome. We love giving back, and we love that you keep coming back. So we'll see you guys later. Have an amazing weekend. Thursday's the new Friday, so enjoy that. And we'll see you next month for another free one, or on one of our webinars, one of our classes face-to-face. We'd love to have you there as well. So we'll see you guys later. Enjoy. What? Oh, hi. Here's one of my kids. Come say hi.